one could challenge that passion though, because what I've heard from my previous interviews is that not a lot of people are coming into the industry like apprentices. They're having a tough time getting apprentices into the dealerships, right?
Very difficult.
Yeah, but what could we do? What are the solutions, right? Or do we have to try to market this industry some more? Try to sell it to let them know, look, there is a future in being a mechanic.
So everybody, a lot of the new generation coming in, they're all tech savvy. Very tech savvy, more than what we were before back in the days. Because we didn't need it as much, but now you need it. And the generation coming up now, they have it. And that's the biggest issue I find that we have in all the dealerships, is that the old generation is trying to fight the new generation because they're not doing it the way they know how to do it. But we can't do that, because this is what we have to work with. We don't have all these X amount of technicians knocking on our door. We don't have all these apprentices. We don't have the schools or the universities offering these courses anymore, because there's no demand for it. So if there's no demand for it, that tells you right off the bat, we don't have any people that are coming up. So you have to grow your own. Meaning, if you have somebody in the dealership that's a technician in, a wash bay employee that just washes cars all day long, well, why can't you maybe ask him if he wants to be a technician? Well, ask if he wants to be an apprentice. Sign them up, show them the benefits. And the benefits lies, they like computers. Well, guess what? That's where we're heading. All these new generation, they love computers. So if we're heading in that direction, that's how we need to market it. And let them know and explain to them, hey, listen, you're good on the computers, you like computers, you like playing video games. Okay, well, the same concept applies here. All those, not so much gaming aspect, but all their knowledge of how the computer works and how they're able to fix what they're working on the computer. It's going to be the same aspect going forward in our generation, in this new generation of electric vehicles. And I think that's why we need to market it. And we have to work with them, because we don't have this whole field of people coming up.
Yeah.
It's very we don't even have, let me see, I'm in the industry now, and our biggest, when the kids were at the school and they were in automotive shop, so they're in automotive shop and they want to do their co-op, kids would be knocking on our door. Can I do co-op with you guys? Can I do co-op? Can I do co-op? Everybody wanted to come in a dealership and do co-op and be hands-on and learn and get dirty and all this kind of stuff. It's no longer like that. We're calling the schools now and asking them, hey, is there anybody in the shop class that wants to come in?
Yeah.
We never used to have to call them. Now we're calling them, asking them if they've got anybody. And they're like, no, sorry, that class is no longer a auto shop class. They pointed with, maybe woodworking. So now it's cut in half. And then the other schools or college, they've made it into a small engine course. So it's no longer an automotive course, it's a small engine course.
Small engine course, yeah.
So people looking to get into this industry, and if you want to get into a dealership, sign up for the apprentice program, go to school. The dealership will pay for you to go to school and you learn about that particular manufactured vehicle, whether it's Honda, Acura, whether it's Toyota, Nissan, whatever the case is. That's how you need to approach. You have to show them their work. Yeah, you have to show them their worth to this industry, because this is what we have now and we have to work with it. And the amount of times you try to fight it, you're just going to end up losing people, and then you're going to be left with nobody.
Yeah. 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 Very, very interesting. Thanks for that, because that is one of the biggest outcry right now. Not a lot of people getting into the industry itself, and not only for apprentices for the service side, but I mean for other aspects of the industry as well, because you have service writers, service advisors coming in, and they have to be trained from scratch,
Right.
right? All these younger generation coming in, parts is just the same. You're not getting the experienced persons cross cross trekking from dealership to dealership anymore. Once they go to one dealership, they don't like it. They say, you know what, I'm out. They just call it a day, and then they move on and they switch profession altogether. So the industry itself, what can we do to try to make it viable to those persons? That's one of the biggest challenges we're looking at right now. So I don't
And
know.
and that's the biggest question, right? How can we continuous have our industry to continuously grow, right? And let's go back one step. Let's look at what do they have in schools for kids to say, hey, I want to be a parts guy. What's a parts guy? So in my time, there was actual a course. It was called inventory control management.
Hmm.
And inventory control management is where they showed you how one part and how many steps it takes before that one part gets from point A to point B.
But that's not a standalone course. If I could recall, that course is offered at the university level, but it's like an elective part of a major course.
They don't offer it anymore.
Well, yeah.
They don't offer anymore, right? So if we want, do they offer anything for being a service advisor? Do they offer anything of being a parts advisor? Do they offer anything of being um, a salesperson? What they offer is sales course, and you can get into sales course, you can get into sales in general,
Yeah.
but they do offer a lot for being a technician, especially now coming up. They know the way the industry is swaying towards. We just need to figure out a way and get
Hmm.
kids into these courses.
Yeah. Yeah. If we don't, we may be looking at not only dealerships will be hustling for the same people. That's basically what's going to happen in the industry right now. Just going to be a hustling, and then it's going to be a cycle all over again. You're just going to have the same people moving from one dealership to the other to the other. That's basically where we're going to go, right?
It
But
becomes a
in closing, Naz, and I want to thank you very much for this interview. It's really an eye opener based on some of the things that I've been trying to get across, and you have touched some very important points. Of course, those are some of the things that needs to be said. But what will be like? What would be your suggestions for persons? What would be your encouragement to get people into the industry? What would you say to them?
I say it's a fun industry. It is a fun industry. If you love cars, if you have a vision of when you were small and you wanted to look at your Hot Wheels and say, hey, how does this wheel turn? How does this paint job happen? How does this work out? You need to get into the industry. The industry is an industry that's going to surpass a lot of other industries. And the reason I say that is because you always are going to need a personnel to put that part on your car. You're going to need a technician. You're going to need to speak to people face to face to explain to them
Yeah.
what's going on with your car, what's happening. It's not always going to be, hey, let me just plug it in and the car is going to tell me what's going on. No, it's going to be on that person who's driving the vehicle, speaking to another live person, a real person, explaining to them what's happened. And this industry, the best part of this industry, here it is. This is how we're going to close it. The best part of this industry, you'll never go to work and do the same thing every day.
Every day. Yeah, that is so true. Every day it's a new adventure. Yeah.
If you want to go to work and punch in numbers all day long and do the same thing all day long and sit in your cubicle where there's nothing wrong with that all day long, this is not for you. But if you want something exciting and go to work every single day and every single day is different, well, you know what? Turn the page because this is for you.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Of course. Naz, thank you very much. I really appreciated you taking the time out to, to explain all of this. And I hear the passion. I know you're passionate about it. And this is one of the avenues I'm using. So by all means, if you have more persons would want to join the show, let me get the word out for them to let them know that the automotive industry, it will always be here, right? It will never go anywhere, right? If you look at, Canadian Tire is what, over 100 years old?
Over 100 years old. And I'll tell you something really fast before we leave here, really fast, just to show you why it's 100 years old and why they're always going to be around. Okay? Their software from 1993 and prior to that, okay, their software that they use up to this day is the same software, because you can go on the screen, you can go on the Canadian Tire, and it's exact same software that it gets updated, but the overall look and the way the software is run the exact same way from 1993, because I've spent 7 years of my life with them. So, and it's been the same. So they always go back to, if it's not broken, why change it?
Change it, yeah. They just update it and keep updating and keep updating and innovate and keep updating. That is all. Whatever they need to get done, they just make an update for it. It's simple.
They want to know where a part is on a shelf. It's been the same way. You put in the part number and it tells you where it is on the shelf. You don't need nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the gist of this whole thing. Sometimes we have to take a step back and look at our basics, and the basics will come down to it's your people. If you're able to talk, respect, and show people, what your dreams are, what your goal is, people will follow you.
Of course. I always go back to the two pillars: respect for people, continuous improvement. So Naz, thank you again. And it has been fun.